Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the channel and the podcast. This video today is going to be covering the March 20th, Friday, 1 p.m. showdown slate for the Turkish soccer, $20,000 to first. So as long as these prize pools remain large and somewhat large and even increasing during this time, I'm going to continue to cover them. As I fix this light right here, I'm going to continue to cover them. So you have the League of Legends stuff really taking off, $50,000 to first, and I think that's even going to get bigger and be more of the consistent over the next month or two. So a lot of these Turkish soccer random slates, I'll be covering the ones with bigger prize pools, but a lot of them I'll start to make podcasts on Patreon. So if this is the type of breakdowns that you do enjoy, for showdown slates probably moving forward, there'll be Patreon type of exclusive stuff just because it takes a lot of time. So keeping it over there makes more sense in terms of not having as much viewership probably over here and still giving value to people on Patreon that are going to remain and continue to support me over there. But if there's any ever time where there's like 3-5 game slates for Turkish soccer or some of these other soccer leagues that are popping up like the Australian Single A League, that bigger slates for that I'll be covering over here. But Turkish soccer is going to have a bigger weekend slate, so we'll see what they do with that. But yes, this is a showdown slate that starts on Friday. Welcome if you're brand new here. A lot of people are finding my content because there's just a lack of content in the DFS industry. There's a lack of content specifically for this stuff, at least that you're used to finding in terms of the video and podcast format compared to just articles. So I'm happy to provide the statistical base here in terms of just building a model last weekend for Mexican soccer and having it readily available for all these other leagues, including the Turkish soccer league here. So just going to go down, going to talk about some of the basics while I talk through some of the plays that stand out from a showdown perspective. I have the goalkeepers highlighted in green. I also have their positions in column B. If you want to screenshot this, there's also a downloadable version on Patreon that will have my exact interests of yeses and nos and maybes once this thing locks in tomorrow at this point. So if you could just hit the subscribe button, I greatly appreciate that. The video is sponsored by Superdraft, and they are running free contests with $500 in prizes, totally free to enter. I'll link that up down below. But that is Superdraft. They're doing it for NBA legends. Just past teams are having them play in a simulated fashion, trying to get up some live streams as well, is what they're trying to work through right now. But they have the contest there. So if you just want to play for free with the upside of winning $50 in first place and 150 people at least getting some sort of monetary money dollar prize, that's what the logo is above for Superdraft. It's linked down below. I also do have content on Patreon. I understand that these times are very difficult for people to be trying to jump onto subscription deals and things like that. So that is my content over there as an independent content creator. It is the thing that is going to ultimately keep this ship sailing throughout this time. So if you do want to support me over there, whether it's a one-time thing or just get the content that's going to be pumped out on a daily basis in NBA, in soccer, in some other things that DraftKings has planned, obviously League of Legends. So there's going to be daily content over there as well in a more exclusive fashion. So you can check that out if you're indeed interested. But hit the subscribe button. It does help me out. Shooting for 20,000 subscribers even during the pandemic is a goal of mine. So we're less than 350 away. It would be really cool. So I have this filtered right now by starts. And the reason I filtered it by starts is just you don't want players that aren't starting. Like the upside is completely capped. They're going to play, instead of playing 85 to 90 minutes plus any type of extra time, they're going to be playing like 45 minutes at best most times, right? So I filtered it by starts. And when you filter it by starts, you're going to get the goalkeepers to pop up. So 25 starts is the most that players have played. And you have the goalkeeper, Altay. Again, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing these names wrong. I've just never heard them discussed on the broadcast before. But it's not a situation where I want to be playing the goalkeeper, especially at 7,400. If I'm going to be playing the goalkeeper, and he is a big favorite, a minus 333 favorite, so you get the win upside. But if he's going to have the win upside, he's probably going to face less shots because his defense is just better, and they're not assuming the other team has a lot of goal opportunities and shots on goal. So I'm just going to take Lung Jr. at $4,000 flat if I'm taking a goalkeeper. That does not mean I am taking one, but there's similar just points upside. I mean, you can look at the averages. Lung Jr. has a higher fantasy point per game average by about 1.5 points. But the biggest thing here is that he'll probably face more shots on goal. So even if he surrenders some, minus 2 points, the one that he saves, plus 2 points, will kind of balance it out for $3,000 less. So if I'm taking a goalkeeper, it's Lung Jr., but I'm not really, and he is an underdog, so it seems kind of interesting to do that, but I'm not really all that thrilled with trying to take one of these guys just because they're upside more times than not. Even if they get the win, like it's going to be like low double digits to more times than not like mid single digits in scoring. And there's a lot of other players that can probably get you that cheaper than the $7,400 price tag up top for Altay. So I'm probably going to stay away from that one. There are players up top that you can definitely get some upside out of. And a lot of this will try to... So you want to look at people who take set pieces, crosses, things like that. But you want to also look at some miscellaneous stats where players can pile on points. So somebody like Vidette, who is 10,600, going to come in as one of the most expensive players in the slate, has started 24 games, averages 87 minutes per start, so 13 goals is by far the most, 5 more than anybody else that's going to be playing on the showdown slate. 4 assists is also a pretty healthy amount, so you're getting just 17 goals plus assists in this one. That's a lot of opportunity. 17 goals plus assists in 24 starts is pretty consistent, believe it or not, for soccer, so that stands out. You're not getting a ton of crosses or really any crosses, so you're not getting points from that regard, but you do get points from the 3.7 shots per 90, the 1.5 shots on goal per 90. Those are all points. You get 43 fouls drawn as well, so 0.7 fantasy or 0.7 points per 90 minutes is the highest on the slate. It's going to be hard to ignore at 10,600 on a showdown slate. Tufan, again, make sure all these players are starting. There'll be lineups on just some sites as well before this all starts, but you have Tufan as well, started 25 games so far, pretty much all of them. I'm pretty close to that, playing the entire game, 90 minutes per start. You get just a ton of peripherals here. Not going to get a lot of crosses, not going to get as many shots on goal because he is a midi compared to Vidette being the forward, but you do get a ton of interceptions. 28 is one of the best in the slate. 36 tackles, one is actually coming in as the best in the slate. You get points for that. And the 56 fouls drawn is about over 2 per start. You get points for that as well. So you're getting a lot of peripherals, although you don't have the same upside in terms of crosses. 5 assists is pretty strong as well. 3 goals, so 8 goals and assists in 25 starts. Again, you have the upside there to pick up points. So $8,600, a pretty stable price point, I guess you can say. We talked about Lung Jr. at goalie at $4,000 on the opposite side of this one. Not really thrilled with it, but if you are playing a goalie, that's where I would end up going. I have a list of probably, like right now, starred players of interest. It's probably going to be for a showdown slate somewhere around like 12. I'll try and cut it down to, I think we're right around there for right now. Just getting into some of the mid-range options. Bernard, I try to cut out the players who are either suspended, out for the season, or out indefinitely based on injury reporting. So unless anything has broken since last night, then this is all updated. But Bernard, you're getting as one of the underdogs at 9,600, a midi. You're getting the ton of crosses here. So 4.55 crosses per start is pretty much the best you're going to find on this slate for any type of consistently starting player. You're getting shots on goal, 2.4, just shots overall, and 0.85 shots on goal per contest, 0.58 points per 90. So points per 90 is kind of an accumulation of their overall consistency, and a lot of it's going to be factored in upside from goals and assists. 8 assists leads this entire slate. You have 11 goals plus assists from Bernard in 20 starts, so pretty consistent there as well. So at 9,600, that does stands out. The highest price player on this is just Max Cruz. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. 13 goals plus assists. You're getting a ton of shots on goal, the second most in the slate at 2.9 shots total and over 1 shot on goal attempt per game. Again, you get the points for that. You're just not picking up peripherals in terms of fouls drawn. No tackles, 1 interceptions. Makes sense for a forward. You're not going to see that a lot. There is some cross upside though for a forward. You don't see that all that often. 3.3. So these are the highest price players, and I do think that Bernard and Cruz and Tufan and Vidette are standing out. Let's get into some of the more fairly priced players, I guess is the way that we can say it. Isla is one of the favorites here. 19 starts so far, 85 starts per match played, 85 minutes per match played, 85 minutes per start. You're pretty much picking up all your points via peripherals. So 30 interceptions, 25 tackles, 1. But the other thing that really does stand out, you're going to have really no goal upside, no goals yet. So that's a concern. But this is a defensive player, so you're banking on the set pieces, the 3.8 crosses per start, any direct kicks that are made here, a couple of assists. So you're really banking on direct pieces for a $6,400 player. I think that's fine to do. Pedro has 8 assists as well, so that's the second most on the slate at $6,000 flat. A forward, so or 8 goals as well, no assists. So it's a forward who's just boom or bust. So 18 starts so far and 8 goals. Like you're banking on the goal upside there. You're getting 1.9 crosses per start, so nothing fantastic there. You're getting 2.3 shots on goal. It's just a forward, and the only goal there is to be set up and to score a goal. So you get some fouls drawn as well. Forwards will usually have that as they're more aggressive. It's a boom or bust GPP play only that you're hoping for a goal. Again, 8 goals and 18 starts. You're probably getting a goal like 1 out of every 3 matches or so on average. And that's obviously a GPP only type of a play. Emir at $8,000 flat seems like one of the stronger plays on the slate if you get a start here. Only 14 starts in the year, but 74 minutes per start. That's going to go up based on a few things if you get a start earlier on, based on just some of the injury and suspension news going on. So the minutes are the concern, but you have 4 goals, or you have 4 assists and 1 goal during this time at $8,000 flat. And the bigger thing is that you get 4.4 crosses. So 4.4 crosses is going to just kind of almost take the place of having an assist in a game. And then obviously you have more set piece upside, having over a shot on goal per contest, or a shot overall per contest at 1.32, winning a lot of battles in terms of tackles. So at $8,000 flat, if you get the start there for Emir, it does look pretty good, just while starting being a consistent player because of that set piece upside. Going down a little bit more at 6,600, I believe it's Maurice. I apologize if that is wrong, but you're getting only 9 starts so far. So you have to keep an eye on if this is a start. These are players that are going to be more fluky in terms of if they start or not. But at forward, if you were to get the start here, again, this is probably unlikely based on the starts right now. But if you were to get the start here, just another player that is probably going to be a lot more goal upside, 3 goals and an assist so far, but a lot of shots and opportunities you've seen so far. 2.7 shots per 90 and 1.25 shots on goal per 90. That's the second highest on this slate. But again, you have to make sure that there is going to be a start designated there. That's pretty much the biggest thing for Hassan Akar. You get just 13 starts so far. You're getting a lot of points from tackles won, things like that. It's just 5,800. It's a cheaper player. There's really not a lot of players that are dipping below. You saw a good amount of like $3,400 players in the last showdown slate. There's not a lot of those unless they kind of spike out of nowhere and draw a start. But right now, there's not a lot of those picking up any interest of mine because they're not involved in crosses. They're not anywhere near scores. They're defenders who really don't do much in the terms of defense and don't have really any win upside. So this is where I'm at right now. Again, I have like listed here, if I had to just quickly go, probably around 10 names of interest. I'll probably get it down to around 12, and then I'll break them up in a tiered approach moving forward on Patreon. So if you're interested in this, or if this indeed did help you, please do hit the subscribe button. The Vegas odds are out there, 333 favorites, 472 underdogs for each side of this contests. You can break down the data. It might be a little bit just foggy or so if you try to screenshot it off my screen. The way that my laptop processes it looks a little bit less clear on here, but that's fine. Hopefully this helps you. 1 p.m. start on Friday, Eastern time, that is. If you're on the West Coast, 10 a.m., so a nice little start to your day with some DFS. But hopefully this is helping. I'm going to continue to make this content because it seems like people are getting satisfaction in a time of uncertainty. Keeps a routine alive for people, even if it is different sports. It definitely does that for me, making this content and playing it, these game modes. So I appreciate it. Thank you for tuning into this one. I'll see you in the next one. We're going to have a lot of League of Legends weekend content and a lot more to come as DraftKings announces some of the stuff that they have in the works. So thank you. I do appreciate it. You all rock. And again, see you in the next one. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed that video. Above my head, if you're not already subscribed to this channel, I do ask you if you can please hit that subscribe button. Helps me out a good amount to reach more people. You can also follow me on Twitter. That's over there. Right in the corner is my @SalVetriDFS Twitter. And then above, you'll find my Patreon link. You can click on that if you want more exclusive content for me. Or a video is going to pop up, so why don't you check that one out as well. I think it's going to be beneficial for you. Thank you so much again for tuning in, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day.